It happens in a split second. You are having a normal Tuesday. You are fine. You are a functioning adult with a job and a bank account and a reasonable amount of emotional stability. And then someone uses that tone of voice, or your partner sighs while loading the dishwasher, or a friend leaves you on red for 3 hours. And suddenly, you aren't a functioning adult anymore. You are a nuclear reactor that has just gone critical. The heat rises up your neck, your vision actually blurs, your heart starts hammering against your ribs like a trapped bird, and you explode. Maybe you scream. Maybe you say something cruel that you can't take back, or maybe you implode. You shut down, go silent, and retreat into a cold, dark fortress of despair. And then, 10 minutes later or an hour later, the adrenaline fades. You are left standing in the wreckage of your own reaction. You look at the dishwasher, you look at the phone, and you think, what is wrong with me? Why did I just lose my mind over a spoon? Why am I crying because of a text message? Why am I crazy? If this is you, if you live in fear of your own emotional thermostat, if you feel like you are walking around with a button on your chest that says self-destruct, and everyone keeps accidentally leaning on it, I need you to take a deep breath right now. You are not a drama queen. And here's the most important thing. You are not actually reacting to the spoon. You are reacting to a ghost. To understand why you lose it, we have to look at the architecture of your brain. Specifically, we need to talk about the amygdala. Think of the amygdala as your personal, over-caffeinated security guard. He sits in a little room in the center of your brain, watching CCTV monitors of your life 24/7. His job is simple: keep you alive. But here is the problem. The security guard is very loyal, but he isn't very smart. And more importantly, he doesn't have a calendar. He doesn't know it's 2025. As far as he's concerned, it might still be 1995 or 2005. He has a file cabinet full of bad things that happened. Maybe in 1999 when you were 7, your father sighed in that exact way right before he started yelling. To your 7-year-old self, that sigh was a siren. It meant danger. It meant you needed to hide or fight or freeze to survive.
Your security guard took a snapshot of that sigh. He stamped it mortal threat, and he filed it away. So now, 30 years later, your partner sighs because they are tired. It is a harmless sigh. It means nothing. But your security guard sees it on the monitor. He matches it to the file from 1999, and he hits the big red button. He doesn't say, hey, this looks similar to the past, let's investigate. No, he floods your body with cortisol. He shuts down your logic center. He screams, danger, the predator is back, fight for your life. You aren't screaming about the dishwasher. You are screaming because your body thinks it is back in the kitchen with your angry father. You aren't overreacting to the present. You are having an appropriate reaction to the past. You are time traveling. This time travel usually manifests in 3 specific ways.
These are the 3 core wounds that turn small moments into big explosions. See if you can find yourself in one of them. The abandonment wound. This is for the person who spirals when there is silence. You send a text. They don't reply. A secure brain thinks they are busy. Your brain thinks they are gone. I am unlovable. I am going to die alone. Why? Because when you were small, silence was dangerous. Maybe you had a parent who used the silent treatment as punishment, or a parent who was emotionally absent. To a child, connection is survival. Disconnection feels like death. So when your friend takes 4 hours to reply, your security guard doesn't see busy. He sees abandonment. You react with panic, or you send 10 angry texts, or you block them to beat them to the punch. You are trying to control the abandonment you feel is inevitable. The criticism wound. This is for the person who falls apart at the slightest hint of feedback. Your boss says,
hey, can you tweak this font? And you hear, you are incompetent. You are a failure. You don't belong here. You snap back, defensiveness, or you go home and cry for 3 hours. Why? Because in your past, love was conditional. Maybe you only got praise when you were perfect. Maybe mistakes were met with harsh ridicule. You learned that correction equals rejection. So now a tiny comment feels like an attack on your soul. You are fighting to protect your right to exist, all because of a font choice. The safety wound. This is for the person who loses their mind when plans change. We're going to the movies at 7? Great. Wait, now it's 7:15? And we're going to a different theater? Explosion. To the outside world, you look rigid. You look like you can't go with the flow. But inside, you are terrified. You likely grew up in chaos, an alcoholic parent, a volatile home, poverty. You learned that the only way to be safe was to control everything. When the plan changes, your security guard screams, "Chaos, we are unsafe." You aren't mad about the movie time, you are terrified of the return of the chaos. There is a simple rule in psychology that can change your life. It is called the 90-10 principle. When you have a massive reaction to a small thing, 10% of the emotion is about the current situation. 90% of the emotion is about the history. If you were at a level 10 anger over a level 2 problem, that extra 8 points of anger didn't come from nowhere. It came from your storage unit. It is old anger. It is old grief. It is old fear. It has been waiting for an exit. Understanding this is the key to stopping the shame spiral. You don't have to beat yourself up for having big feelings. You just have to realize that your feelings are a glitch in the timeline. So how do we fix this? How do we tell the security guard to stand down? We cannot stop the initial surge. That is biology. But we can stop the explosion. Notice the physical shift. Before you yell, before you cry, your body warns you. Your hands clench, your stomach drops, your face gets hot. That is the signal. That is the security guard reaching for the button. The 90-second rule. Neuroscientists say that the chemical surge of an emotion only lasts about 90 seconds. If you can survive those 90 seconds without feeding the fire, without yelling, without typing the angry text, the feeling will naturally start to fade. So when the wave hits, you literally freeze. You say to the other person, "I am feeling really activated right now. I need 5 minutes." And you walk away. You go to the bathroom. You sit in your car. You stare at a wall. You let the 90-second wave crash over you. Ask the magic question. Once your heart rate comes down, ask yourself this: how old do I feel right now? Do you feel like a competent 35-year-old? Or do you feel like a scared 7-year-old? If you feel small, helpless, or trapped, you are in a flashback. And just acknowledging that, "Oh, I am feeling 7 right now," breaks the spell. It separates the past from the present. You can then say to yourself, "I am safe. I am an adult. This is just a dishwasher. My father is not here." The next time you overreact, please try not to hate yourself. That reaction, that scream, that was your inner child trying to protect you. It was a misguided, outdated attempt at self-preservation. It was your brain trying to save you from a tiger that died 20 years ago. You can thank your brain for trying to help. Thanks, security guard. I know you're worried, but it's just a spoon. We are safe. You are healing. It takes time to update the software of a survival machine. So be patient with the glitches. You aren't crazy. You're just a human being who survived. And now, finally, it is time to live. Thank you for being here. Subscribe for more.